Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my Cedar Point Recreation Park. In the last episode, we wrapped up working on the Cedar Point Shores water park area. Today we're going to be moving into an area nearby in the middle of the park. And that is where we have some backlot and maintenance facilities between Corkscrew and Hotel Breakers. It's been a big glaring hole in the park for quite a while now, lots of red grid that's been sitting over here. Finally time to clean it up, add these buildings in here. Unfortunately, this is part of the park that I don't really have a lot of familiarity with, as you would imagine. It's not even particularly easy to get photos of this area, as a lot of it is hidden behind trees. So I'm relying pretty heavily on Google Maps here to get the appearance of these buildings in a way that I'm happy with. Hopefully they haven't changed too much since the photos on Google Maps were taken. I kind of doubt that they would be, but you never know. To make things a little bit easier on myself, I am copying a lot of the same building styles I've used for other buildings nearby. We're starting with the administration building right behind Scrambler and Matterhorn. It doesn't have a lot going on with it, just another brick building similar to the other admin buildings next to it. And then for the backlot maintenance shed area behind Corkscrew, really just using the same exact strategy I was using with the maintenance lot near the front of the park behind the Midway games. So not really a whole lot of creative decisions going in here today, just more sort of semi-busy work with getting building footprints laid out. But even still, I do really like these buildings. I'm very happy with the way that the older buildings turn out, and I'm perfectly happy to reuse some of those same ideas here if I think it's going to look nice. I am also trying to get this area just kind of done in one go, so we're also working on a lot of little fiddly details in here as well, such as flower beds and roads and things. Especially the diagonal bits of the roads. Those I usually save till the very end because it takes a lot of effort with messing around with the path edges and everything to get them to look nice for diagonals. But I don't think we're going to come back and revisit the layout of this area very much at all. The layout is pretty much finalized. I don't think we're going to be messing with the roads once they're put down the first time around. But that's a pretty nice feeling. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the project, and things are really getting solidified into place with their final positions and final designs. Not everything is finalized. There's still some cleanup I want to do, obviously, as I keep saying. Before I recorded this episode, I did spend some time off camera doing some more tweaking to a whole bunch of various things around that I've been wanting to fix for a long time. I'm not going to go through all of those things individually. But you might notice, for example, that the supports on Corkscrew are a little bit different now. Just a little design tweak I liked. More little things like that I will be playing around with off camera. But yeah, I am quite fortunate that the main maintenance building back here that I'm doing does have a very regular square shape to it. So it does play very nicely with Roller Coaster Tycoon. Aside from going a little crazy with roof details, there's really not a whole lot going on here. Just a matter of placing down some walls, adding in some doorways and garages. I haven't yet placed in any vehicles in this area like we did with the first backlot area. I put in a bunch of cars and trucks and things for employee parking and maintenance vehicles, things like that. I am planning on doing it in this area. I just don't get around to it in this episode. That's probably something else that I'll be doing off camera. There are some tweaks I need to make to my vehicle plugin. I don't know if I mentioned this in the parking lot Q&A episode, but in order to ease the pain of making the parked cars over there, I made a plugin that will randomize the types and colors of vehicles on a single ride, so it's a lot easier to make randomized looking vehicles. Worked out pretty nicely for the parked cars. Some issues with the traffic over there, so I need to spend some more time coding and making tweaks to that plugin. But it has been pretty helpful, and I'm going to be using it over here as well. I just need to spend a little bit more time on that. Definitely want to spend as little time as possible manually tweaking vehicles with the vehicle editor plugin. Aside from our buildings, the only other cool, interesting structure we have over here is the water towers. There are two water towers behind this maintenance backlot. There's a larger one and a smaller one. Nothing too exciting about them individually, but it was kind of fun to figure out the design for these. Turns out bobsled track works really well for a water tower if you stack them up on top of each other like I'm doing here. Does make a pretty nice round wall structure. I don't think it's going to be possible to put the signs on it, but I'm not really that upset about that. For the smaller water tower, I was thinking about doing another track architecture design, but I have the just actual water tower scenery piece here as placeholder, and I don't hate it. It's actually not bad as far as scale goes, so I might just leave it in there. Should probably go through some reference parks that I have and look for other water tower designs and see if I can find anything that will work well on a little bit of a smaller scale here. There's also one more building back here that we wrap up, which is, I believe, a large conference center that can be rented out from what I've been told in the comments. If we're talking about the same building here, I think there's also some maintenance and administrative stuff in this building as well. It is the last big building we have to build out here at the front of the park. It's nice to finally get this one covered up. I've been using this area to hide my trackitecture, where I can copy and paste track from. And it's been really convenient to have it uncovered over here so I can get to it easily whenever I need to. But I don't think we'll be using much more trackitecture here for the rest of the build since we're getting close to the end. This is a pretty tough building too because it's just so incredibly large. And it's hard to make something that looks detailed and good. I'm not super happy with a lot of this building, especially the roof. Just using a lot of plain base blocks and vanilla roof pieces to make this, and some of it looks kind of janky, kind of plain. And I know it's not a huge focus of the park in general, but I still do want to play around with it a bit more, probably off camera, and see if I can come up with a better design here, because I'm not very happy with it. It looks very plain. Just some more little details like edges and trimming and things on the roof would go a long way to helping as well. Just gotta find the time to get there and take care of it. But yeah, that's kind of it for our build today. It is really nice to get this building down here, kind of glue together the park where Corkscrew is and the Hotel Breakers areas. Things are definitely looking a lot more cohesive over here with these buildings here to tie things together. Getting down some roadways and some trees here to make things look alive. I'm pretty happy with how things are going here so far. Still quite a bit of detailing to do, as always, of course. We kind of left the front of Hotel Breakers unfinished when we did the original build. Now that we've got this building down here, it's going to be a lot easier to get all that stuff finished up. Finish it, adding the roadways and trees. There's also some guest parking lots back here that I have not done yet. So as always, still some stuff to work on. Not there yet. And even though this isn't the most exciting build, it really is going a long way to helping get finished. So pretty happy with how things have gone today. We're probably going to be spending some more time off camera for detailing and tweaks and things, as I mentioned earlier. But I'm going to still be recording the main builds here on camera for the last few episodes that we have left. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you've got any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.